Well, hello there, everybody. Peter Greenberg here with you on this last Wednesday of March 2022 for our Facebook Global Travel Update. A lot of stuff to talk about. As you can see from the background behind me, I'm in Lisbon in Portugal on board the brand new Silver Sea Silver Dawn. It's a brand new ship, makes its maiden voyage day after tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And I'll be reporting from here. Happy to hear from you, of course. You can always email me at peter@petergreenberg.com with your name, phone number, question, or problem. We'll answer it either right here on the show or by email or on our radio show, which airs every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Eye on Travel. Check your local listings. And if you can't find the show, no problem. Just go to our website with the imaginative name, petergreenberg.com. You'll hit the radio icon and we stream it live every Saturday. It's also available as a podcast. First things first, before we get to the ship, of course, an update on the situation in Ukraine, which continues to deteriorate. And in that vein, I said it last week and I said it the week before, and as we're now in the second month of this terrible situation, please reach out to people like Doctors on Call, or Doctors Without Borders, AmeriCares, All Hands and Hearts, and Operation USA. That's opusa.org. You'll also find information on them on our website. These are the folks with boots on the ground, the really good charities that spend 98% of the money you give them on the people who need it the most, and giving them the relief supplies and the aid that they desperately need now as the situation continues to deteriorate. We all send our hopes and prayers for peace, but until that happens, and even when that happens, they're going to need help. I mentioned All Hands and Hearts because they're not first responders, they're second responders. They go in after the first responders, the Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, AmeriCares go in. What does All Hands and Hearts do? They rebuild schools. Because in communities either destroyed by natural disaster or by war, without a school, you don't have a community. Without a school, parents can't go to work because they have to stay home with their kids. Without a school, there is no community. So they built how many schools? It's unbelievable the work that they do. Check out their website, help them out, do whatever you can. They need your help. And then, of course, when all of this is said and done, I'm a firm believer in this. Anytime there's a natural disaster, a civil disturbance, a war, right after that, it may be the best time for you to travel because the people need your help the most. It's not just about visiting a museum, it's helping them with the recovery. Lifelong friendships get made out of this because they know why you're there. What a great way, even though it's an unfortunate circumstance, to immerse yourself in the culture and help people out at the very same time. We'll have continuing information on how you can do that in the days and weeks ahead. But for now, check out those charities. They need your help, and I know you'll help. All right, moving on to other news. I said I was on the Silver Dawn. It's a brand new ship. It's the 10th of the Silver Sea Fleet, and it's all new. It's all luxurious, only 298 suites. This is a ship that comes with butlers. There's nothing mid-level about it. And it begins its maiden itinerary day after tomorrow. Check it out. By the way, to give you an idea of some historical perspective here, yes, it's a new ship, but it's one of about 22 new ships that were built during the pandemic. We reported during the pandemic over the last years of how many ships were taken to the scrapyards and literally torn apart. Ships that still had many useful years of life ahead of them, but it was a bad situation economically. A lot of them got scrapped. But these were ships that were already ordered before the pandemic. It takes 3 to 5 years to get a new ship out once you decide you're going to build one. So timing being everything, what a great time to enter the cruise industry than right now with great itineraries. Silver Sea, by the way, is one of those lines, one of the few lines that calls on, get ready, 900 ports. So your options are great. Now, the ports they're not calling on this year, no surprise, Odessa, St. Petersburg, the Russian Far East, not going to happen. But that's for every cruise line. But for everything else, whether it's the Kimberleys in Australia or the Northwest Passage or Alaska or anywhere around the world, check them out. It's an opportunity. All right, I'm going to give you some good news here. I got to give you some good news before we go to your questions. Every year, Gallup comes out with their list of, you ready? The happiest countries in the world. All right. So who won this year? By the way, it's based on compassion, generosity, freedom to make life choices, social support, not to mention life expectancy, healthcare, the usual suspects. Who wins the happiest country this year? Guess what? The country that won has won it for the last 4 years in a row. It's Finland. Wow, who knew? And followed by, this is not a surprise, Denmark and Iceland. See the theme here? North, Scandinavia. Brisk and cold, but wonderful. All right, now, who's on the bottom of the list? No surprises there. These are countries that are either in extreme poverty or in conflict. Those would be Venezuela and, of course, Afghanistan. And a few more, too, like Lebanon. However, I know the question you want to ask is, where does the United States fit in? Well, we got nothing to shout about. We came in 16th. Obviously, some work to be done. We're not the United States of America. We're the conflicted states of America. So I guess we can't be that happy. We can. We got to figure out the other problems first. But that's the happiest report. One anniversary I'm not going to celebrate, but I'm going to mention because it's nothing you would ever want to celebrate. It happened 45 years ago this week. It was the deadliest aviation disaster in history. I covered that story March 27th, 1977. It was the collision of two 747s on the runway in Tenerife in the Canary Islands. Just an unbelievable combination of events, none of which were planned, that in combination created this deadliest aviation disaster in history. Over 580 people died in one disaster. If there's any good news coming out of this, the procedures that were followed then, which were terrible, with no double checks, clearly pilot error, by the way, on the part of the KLM pilot, who, by the way, was their chief pilot. He was their poster child in all their ads. He was not dead handsome and, a real professional, except for one thing. He was a little bit arrogant and didn't listen to the commands from the tower. In fact, didn't even listen to his own co-pilot who told him he didn't have clearance to take off. He did it anyway, and the results, of course, were catastrophic. Read up on that crash. It's an amazing story. The only people who survived, here's an irony, the only people who survived that were the folks flying in first class in the upper deck of the Pan Am 747. When does that ever happen? They're usually the first to go. Anyway, an amazing investigation, an amazing probable cause finding, and hopefully lessons learned and applied now 45 years later. All right, one more thing I want to talk about before we get to your questions. We talked about the airspace situation in the wake of Ukraine, how much of Eastern Europe has been affected in terms of airspace, how much of airspace globally has been affected, especially over the Russian Far East on the Kamchatka Highway out there, going over northern Turkey. About 60% of the viable airspace in the world has been messed up because it's become a no-fly zone because of what's going on. How do airlines cope with it? Well, one airline, Hong Kong-based Cathay Pacific, actually, in order to get to where they want to go on their New York to Hong Kong routes, it became the longest commercial flight in history, 10,326 miles. Take a look at this map. We're going to punch it up there. You see what it says? You see the old map? Now you see the new map? That's what they had to add. Unbelievable. The former map was like 8,072 miles. This is over 10,326 miles, all because of no-fly zones. A lot of fuel being burned on that flight, but at least they're getting to where they want to go. Now, getting to Hong Kong for anybody these days is even after that long flight is a little difficult. It's still in a lockdown situation. The caseload there is increasing of COVID, so it's going to be a while before Hong Kong opens up. But for those people who have to go, who are agreeing to be quarantined, and who meet those requirements, it's a long flight to get there, just so you know. All right, let's go to some of your questions, and then we'll get back to some more stuff. All right, Colleen is saying, signing on from beautiful downtown Burbank. Okay, hold on, let me scroll down here. Mei Ling is saying good morning. Hello, Mei Ling. Melissa is Reno. All right, Patty is saying hi from Kentucky, where yesterday was bad weather. Had winter boots on, and today will be close to 80. Yeah, there's like, oh my God, talk about confusing temperatures. Okay, and Patrick, I saw your post earlier today, the greetings to the maiden voyage of the Discovery Princess, another new ship. And Danielle says, I knew it was Portugal. Okay, good for you. Hi from Washington State. That's Sue saying hi. Peter Coe is saying hello from beautiful Madison, where we are getting ready for a Day of the Badger on April 6th. I have no idea what that is, but we'll look it up. For badgers, Okay, Megan is saying hi. We've got Lencha DeLu saying hello from, say hello to my dad. Okay, I'll say hi to him. Okay, Michelle is saying hi. We've got Robin is saying hi from Williamsburg. Robin always says hi from Williamsburg. Hi, Robin. And Paul's saying hi from Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, I think I told you, was one of my favorite stories where I was there and I needed to get to New York. And the airfare on Delta, they had like one flight a day with Captain Skippy on a little plane. It was like $800. It was ridiculous. It wasn't that long a flight. And then I realized maybe there's a train that goes. And I found out that every morning at 4:30 in the morning, it sounds like a bad Gene Wilder movie, the Silver Meteor shows up, starts in Florida, ends up at Penn Station at 4:30 in the morning, and I could buy a sleeper cabin, my own bed, my own desk, my own bathroom, and breakfast for $179. Leaves at 4:30 in the morning, gets to Penn Station about 11. You know what? The Delta flight didn't even leave till 9:30 and got to LaGuardia at about 11, and then you had to schlep into the city. What a great deal. Amtrak does a terrible job of promoting these special little sleeper trains, but they're out there. Okay. All right, let's keep going. My friend Peter in Rwanda from Kigali. How are you, sir? Michelle is saying hello from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Jew is back on from Japan. Angela is saying hello from California and that she loves Portugal. Listen, I love Portugal. Let's get down to brass tacks. Portugal is the kingdom of a dead empire. If you ask the Portuguese, hey, what's going on? They want to talk about Vasco da Gama. I forgive them. All right, the days of Mozambique and Angola and Macau are gone. It's an affordable location. It's a very popular location, and they've done a great job. And they're open. Okay. Peter Coe is absolutely right. Jose Andres in World Central Kitchen doing an amazing job in feeding the refugees. Jose, hats off to him. Check out World Central Kitchen. They are there when they're needed the most. They're feeding people. Okay, Elizabeth saying hi from the Upper West Side. Okay, well, I'm on the Upper West Side of Western Europe. Okay, hi Peter. I'm tuning in from Rwanda. All right, Raymond Vixen. It's windy and his. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, it's windy here. Yes, it is. It's a breeze coming in right off the Atlantic. Raymond, you're absolutely right. So you win the Windy Award. Okay. Frank says, hi there, Peter, owner of Pinnacle Trips in New York. Hello, Frank. Okay, Joan is saying hi from California. Laura is saying greetings from Connecticut. Everybody's saying hi today. Ann Thompson Nelson is saying because people don't have to worry about medical insurance, education, and so many other social supports. What are you talking about? Because people don't have to worry. Oh, about Portugal? You know what? They have great health care. It's affordable. They provide, and the people are happy. I'm amazed they weren't one of the happiest countries, actually. When I first came here, it was right after the revolution in 1974, and nobody was happy. They're a whole lot happier now. Okay. Going to Copenhagen, this is from Lee. Could you recommend what area to stay in? So confused. Well, listen, I always stay right in the middle of downtown. Why? Because it's a walkable city. And what I love about Copenhagen, I thank my mother for this. She used to collect Royal Copenhagen china. Guess what? I still do. And the store is right there. But you go next to the store and they have the seconds with blemishes you couldn't even discern. That's where you buy it. Okay, Jamba from Jambo. Yeah, there we go. I'm reading it wrong. Hello, Joseph. And he's saying, hello from Kenya. Okay, New Jersey saying hello with Debbie. Randy is saying hello from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Okay, you got that one. And now, lots of other stuff to talk to. I'm going to scroll back up here again and talk about something else. We've talked about airfares. Every week we're seeing airfares go up. They were going up at 7% a month, then 7% every 10 days, then 7% every 4 days. Now it's about 7% every 2 days. It's spiraling way up. Let me tell you the difference. Right now, the airfare from just Los Angeles to San Francisco, I talked about it last week, but it bears repeating because of comparisons. It's about $400. The flight that only takes 38 minutes. You know what the airfare is from the United States to Dublin right now? It starts at $5.99. So let's see. United States to Dublin, $5.99, or LA, San Francisco, $400. Okay, time's up. Did you do the math? You know where you want to be. Same thing here in Portugal. Dublin, that's Aer Lingus, they've got great deals. In Portugal, they've got great deals on TAP. If you use Lisbon as your hub, they have a program where you can fly into any one of 45 different destinations that they fly to beyond Lisbon for a nominal add-on fare. That's cool. You see a number of other airlines now offering stopovers. Turkey's doing it. Qatar's doing it, where if you're going through Istanbul to somewhere else, you can stay at no extra charge for a day or two and have a city tour and hang out. Same thing in Qatar. Check it out. It's worth it. Why not? You're flying all that distance. It'll be one-dimensional. All right. Airfares in Europe have essentially flatlined for the moment. They won't flatline for the summer. They flatline for the moment where they're going through the roof of the United States. So bear that in mind. If you haven't made your summer plans yet, first thing I want you guys to do is get an atlas. Most of you don't own one. Now, I'm not talking about the 50-pound coffee table model. Get a pocket atlas. But take a look at the world and then get a sense of distance, time, and place. Get a sense of Western Europe is not in the line of fire of what's going on in Eastern Europe. You can come here safely. You can come here responsibly. You can get in and you can get out. And right now, it's affordable. Most Americans are embracing the worst four-letter word that starts with F when it comes to travel. That's fear. And as a result, oh, I don't want to go there now. Well, guess what? You don't want to come later in the summer because that's when the airfares go through the roof. Right now, beautiful day here in Lisbon. Why wouldn't you want to be here? Or in Paris, or in Rome, or in Barcelona, or Barcelona. That's what you want to do. Be smart, okay? That's what you want to do. Now, one other thing, and that's we'll talk about cruises now. In the situation with the cruise lines, by June, that's only 2.5 months from now, 300 ships will be back online. They'll be fully operational. They'll be cruising the world with the exception of those ports I mentioned. And the old traditional playbook is out. They don't have to discount to get you back on. Why? Because people really want to go. What they'll do is value-added deals where they'll throw in free shore excursions, onboard ship credits, and other credits. But they're not going to basically discount their fare because right now, law of supply and demand, they don't have to. It's coming back. And they've played the game right. They've done their homework. They've complied with the CDC requirements, over 75 different items they had to comply with before they could be approved to go sail again. They've done it. And you know what? Now's the time to do it because what are the cruise lines doing? Because it's not just the cruise lines, it's the ports. Not every port is ready. Not every port is up and running. And not every port is welcoming them. So as a result, not by design, by the way, but it's worked out pretty well, you're seeing a lot of cruise line itineraries allowing you now to overnight for 1 night or 2 nights in a port, which is just great. You really have a time to go beyond a pina colada and a straw hat. You actually have time to immerse yourself in that culture as a true appetizer so you can come back later and extend your trip. I love the idea of at least 1 or 2 night overnights on cruise ships. It really gives you a different pace, a different way to approach a destination, and an opportunity when you least expected it to really see a place the way it was meant to be seen. All right, let's stream down a little more here. Hold on a second. Oh, I should give you the trivia question this week. Hold on. And it's a good one. It's a good one. Got to find it. It was here a minute ago. I'm looking for it. And now I can't find it. But I will. Maybe my trusty assistant, Anthony, can find it. But it's a good one. And I've also got your questions, too. So as soon as he finds it and gives it to me, I'll get back to you on that. One more thing I got to tell you about. This comes under, you can't make this up. And it happened about a month ago in Wyoming. Are you ready? Okay, here it comes. There's a new delicacy available in Wyoming, and it's free, and it's legal. You can't, remember I said you can't make it up? Effective now, it is now legal for you to stop and eat roadkill. I'm serious. The state legislature ruled that whether you hit it themselves or you just happen upon it, you can grab it on the road, strap it on the roof, get those bungee cords ready, take it home and cook it. They only made 2 exceptions, and I think they're really being, really cool about this. You can't do it with grizzly bears or gray wolves. Anything else, no pun intended, fair game. All right, I said it. All right. They say that legislative bodies can't pass laws anymore. Well, they passed that one. Wow. Now, usually laws get passed because of lobbying groups. Is there really a roadkill lobby group out there? Apparently they got it. Okay, here I got the trivia question. Here we go. Are you ready? What is the youngest country in the world? Say it again. What's the youngest country in the world? All right, I'll let you take some time on that. And what I mean by that, of course, is the youngest country that's been named, right? The youngest country that's been named or has recently gained true independence. Okay, give you some time on that. Now, greetings from Cobblestone Lucas, all right. Greetings from Madrid, from Marcy. I'm going through this. Okay. All right, yes, we have a note from Finland and Iceland, of course. Sean says, greetings from Miami. You got it. Joy Daniels saying, I lost my vaccine card. How do I get a new card when I went to various sites for the vaccine, but I got, I see, that you got at the Rite Aid drugstore. Okay. First of all, every pharmacy or vaccine provider is required to keep a record of it. Why don't you ask them for it? And why didn't you take a cell phone picture of it the minute you got it? Have you not heard of a photocopy machine? I keep 3 copies of my vaccine card. 1 in my phone, 1 in my passport, and 1 my wife has. Okay, just in case. But your pharmacy should have that record. They had to supply it to the authorities when they provided the vaccine. Okay? The other way to do it is it just was passed by the FDA. If you're over 50 now, you qualify for a second booster shot. So go get it and then get your vaccine card for that and do exactly what I told you about photocopying. Okay? That's how you do that. Okay. Here's one from Lizette who goes, hi from Chicago. Where should we stay in Munich? There are so many great places in Munich. I love Munich. But you haven't told me when you're going and what your budget is. So get back to me on that. Greetings from Palm Beach to Roseanne. Camilla's saying, agreed on Copenhagen. I am from Denmark, staying near the pedestrian area called Streget. Did I pronounce that right, Camilla? Okay. My good pal, Ramey Warren from the old days at the Home Show. How many people remember the Home Show? Gary Collins, Sarah Purcell. She says, I'm going to Portugal and France in May. Can you refresh us on COVID protocols to re-enter the States? Yeah. Well, as it stands today, you need a negative COVID-19 test within 24 hours of your return flight from Portugal to the United States, or from any country to the United States. Okay? By the way, speaking of COVID tests, I couldn't just come on this ship. First of all, I had to provide a negative, even though I'm vaccinated, a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours to show the Portuguese authorities. And then once I got here, before I was allowed on the ship had to test me. They did so outside the ship, and then I came on the ship, and everything was done. Good way to go. And the ship will perform the COVID test to allow me to leave the ship later in the week. Okay? Now you know. Okay. Okay. Ismail saying, can't wait to meet me next month in April. Well, that is coming up in Arusha near Mount Kilimanjaro. That's right, because we're going to do 3 premieres of the Tanzania show, Tanzania the Royal Tour with the President. 1 in New York, 1 in Los Angeles, and 1 in Tanzania. And For those of you who own a television set, which I think is everybody, April 21st is the day it premieres on PBS. Check your local listings. That's Tanzania, the Royal Tour, with President Samia Suluhu Hassan. And looking forward to that. More about that as we get closer to the date. Okay, a report from our friend Ju in Japan. She says Singapore and Malaysia are now opening up for international travelers from April 1st. That's in 3 days, 2 days actually. Fully vaccinated, no need to quarantine. Finally. All right. Look, same thing's happening with the mask mandates. Airlines in Britain have already dumped them. Nope, we're talking about Ryanair and EasyJet and British Air. No need to wear a mask on those flights. We're waiting to see what happens, of course, in the U.S. Remember, March 18th, they kicked it down the road to April 18th. That's coming up, right? 20 days. What's going to happen? Intense lobbying. Forget the roadkill lobby. It's the anti-mask lobby, and it's the travel industry lobby at the same time to get them to eliminate the requirement to on public transportation, especially on airplanes, which I understand because of their ventilation systems. I'm not very positive about them relaxing it on by May 18th, meaning on April 18th. I think they're going to kick it down the road again until the end of the Memorial Day weekend. I think by June 1st, I think we will have a definitive answer on getting rid of the masks on airplanes. That's just my intuitive response. Okay, let's keep going here. Hello from the Dominican Republic, says Juan. Jonah says, do I think airfare will go down for September and October for European travel? Of course I do. It always does, as of about September 15th. By the way, September is my magic month of travel just about anywhere in the world, and Europe is no exception. September in the Mediterranean is the best. It's absolutely the best. I wholeheartedly endorse that. Oh my goodness. All right, hopefully now my trusty assistant Anthony is going to find my piece of paper on the photo of the week. We have one. Maybe he can put it up there. There it is. And the photo of the week, where was that taken? No, not in Tanzania. This one was taken in Kenya. And Joan Haas took that picture. Joan, thank you for sending that. Nice to see that the zebra posed for you long enough. We appreciate that. All right. Let's see if anybody, somebody said Qatar is the youngest nation. Not true. Anybody else guessing? Let's see. Okay, no, it's not. Oh, look at this. We have a couple of winners. Oh my goodness. Somebody said Barbados. No, Barbados just was released from the Commonwealth. It's not a new country. Palau, I love Palau, but Raymond Bixon, you're wrong. Barbados is another wrong guess by Judette. Okay, I'm going through here. Okay. Everyone's guessing Barbados. It's not. It's not. In the meantime, my friend Lotai is saying hi from Bhutan. We do have a winner, though. And he lost big time last week, but he's redeemed himself today. Ted Perlstein in Chicago. He guessed South Sudan. He's right. It's when they gained their true independence in the year. Anybody want to guess? 2011. 2011 is when they did it. All right. Everybody else who guessed Barbados, sorry, not true. Carmen says she's watching from Amsterdam, embarking on a tulip time river tomorrow. Good. Have fun. I'm going down here with all the wrong guesses. Let's see. But we now know it's South Sudan. Okay. And Peter's suggesting this for the question about somebody who lost their vaccination card. Many states have state vaccination registries, which you can access online. There we go. Peter Coe, thank you so much. And it really finds it. Check it out. Thank you for that. Okay. Patty says she's traveling to Paris in late April. Mid-April will be 6 months since the booster. Should I get another booster now that it's allowed? Yes, you should. Remember, I talked about a 270-day cutoff for some countries. Other countries have a 180-day cutoff. That's 6 months. That's right where you are. Increase your options. If you can get the vaccine, the booster, you qualify for it, Patty, do it. Okay. What is the best travel backpack that fits under an airline seat? You know what? I'm the wrong person to ask that. I've never worn a backpack, so I can't tell you that. But you know what? My trusty assistant, Anthony, lives with backpacks. I actually sometimes think he is a backpack. So you know what? Anthony's going to answer that question for you next week. Ask it. We'll get you the answer. We'll get you a couple of options, okay? Hello to Melissa. And Michael, thank you for that nice note. Sarah's saying, my husband and I are traveling to Portugal for 8 days. What are the must-see things? Well, if you've never been to Porto, go. And go down the Douro River. It's amazing. There's such great history in Porto. And I have to do a shout out for one restaurant that I discovered there just this week that was so amazing I went back twice. And it's called 1756. And I'm going to give you the item you got to order. The salmon tataki. That's all I'm going to say. You've never had a dish like this in your life. And even if you're not a fish lover, you're going to fall in love with it. Salmon tataki at the restaurant 1756. However, I'm in Lisbon right now. I'll give you a couple of restaurants. One is called Aqui Peixe, which means fish is here. Another restaurant is called Je ne sais quoi. And another restaurant, which I'm going to tonight, I've been coming to for years, used to be owned by John Malkovich, if you can believe this. It's called Papa Sorda. They have great seafood, great fish, but you don't go there for the food on the main items, you go there for the dessert. And what's the dessert? Well, it's a surprise in terms of not what it is, but how it's served. You know, in any other restaurant in the world, if you order chocolate mousse for dessert, then they give you a small little champagne glass with an even smaller spoon, and you're supposed to enjoy that. At Papa Sorda, when you order chocolate mousse for dessert and you're waiting for that small little champagne glass, that doesn't happen. You're tapped on the shoulder. You're tapped on the shoulder, and guess what you get? You turn around, and the waiter is standing there holding an industrial-sized bowl with an industrial-sized ladle, and they hand the ladle to you. Need I complete that sentence anymore? That's the other one. By the way, if you're in Lisbon, you're looking for a great view of the city, go to the roof of the Tivoli Hotel. They've got an amazing rooftop bar. But everywhere you go in Lisbon, remember, as I said before, Kingdom of a Dead Empire, you walk. Of course, in the morning, have your breakfast of the pastel de nata, unless you're on a diet, at which point you're not eating anything. But you're going to cheat. Trust me, you're going to cheat. All right. Here's one from Sherry. It says, we're going to Maine in October. Okay. Well, once again, you're giving me not enough information. Okay? So give me more information, and I'll answer it online, because you haven't told me enough about what you're doing, what your budget is too. Let's go back up here. Rula wants to know any favorite restaurants in Paris. I do have a couple. I mean, I've never had a bad meal in Paris, I'm telling you. But there's one restaurant. Look, if you're looking for the best lobster sandwich in town, you go to the bar at the Four Seasons. Have a little rosé, the lobster sandwich, bring your wallet, but you're going to have the best lobster sandwich in town. However, as many of you know, I'm a pescatarian. I haven't had meat since November of 2008, so it's almost been 14 years. But I make an exception once a year in Paris. That's it, once a year. And I know I'm going to say something that's going to be politically incorrect to a lot of people, but I'm not going to apologize for it. I go with my wife to a little restaurant. And by the way, everything else they have on the menu there, other than what I'm about to tell you, is remarkable. The restaurant only has maybe 14 tables in the whole restaurant, so you need a reservation. It's small. It's located on Rue General Lanrezac, not far from the Arc de Triomphe. And it's an Asian fusion restaurant, Asian French fusion, Japanese chef. And every year, I'll be going sometime in, I think, June. I go there to the restaurant. It's called L'Hide, Hide. And what do I order? Please don't kill me. They make the most amazing pan-seared foie gras. That's my once-a-year cheat. The only time I have meat or something like meat. That's it. We're done. Please don't write me. All right, let's keep going. Robert says, is Tumi backpack worth the price? All right, I'm going to tell you right now. No, it's not. I think Tumi's overpriced. I think Tumi has always been overpriced. Look, they make a great bag. It also happens to be a heavier bag. They use like bulletproof Kevlar to make the bag, which is great because conveyor belts can't destroy it. But you're paying for that. I have a lot of favorite bags, but you're asking me about backpacks again. I'm going to defer to Anthony, and Mr. Backpack himself will give me that answer. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm looking at this. Okay. Oh, what was the name of the restaurant with the chocolate mousse? Papa Sorda. Papacorda, but pronounced Papa Sorda, not Corda. Papa Sorda. It's in the Time Out building in Lisbon, which is it's on the second floor. When you go down to the first floor, lots of great food stalls there, including a great place that makes the pastel de nata. So it's a dessert festival. Okay. Joan says it's kind of windy where you are, but if I heard you give me credit for the photo of the week, I wish. Not mine. Really? Okay, I'll do the correction. I thought it was yours. We'll do that. Okay. Oh, now I can do it. You're absolutely right, Joan. It was Ellen Fisher. Okay. Thank you for that correction. Thank you, Anthony, for making that change. Okay. Keep on going here. There we go. Okay. Melissa says she loves the lightweight Samsonite backpack. Well, there you go. Okay, scrolling back up for a few more questions before we say goodbye. I'm going through here. Okay, a couple of housekeeping notes. Number one, if you missed anything today or I didn't get a chance to answer your question, tune in on Saturday for the Ion Travel Radio Show on CBS. It airs from 10 o'clock in the morning to 1 p.m. Eastern. Check your local listings. We stream it live during that time as well on our website, petergreenberg.com. The Travel Detective Season 8 starts in about a month, so check that out on PBS. And speaking of PBS, April 21st, check your local listings. That's the premiere air date for Tanzania, the Royal Tour with the President, Samia Suluhu Hassan. And I hope you guys get a chance to watch. I will see you next week, hopefully at one of our usual times, either Wednesday or Thursday, from about 8,000 miles away from here, maybe even more. No, it's not Hong Kong, but it's going to be very much west of where we are right now. So I'll see you next week. In the meantime, I'm going to go get my COVID test. We'll see you on the radio Saturday. Everybody be safe. And remember what I said about Ukraine. Doctors Without Borders, AmeriCares, All Hands and Hearts, and OperationUSA.org. It's opusa.org. Please give them as much help as you can. I'll see you next week, everybody.